How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Fast Hands Gaming. I'm your boy Fast, and we are back on Clash of Beast today. And before Raid Wars starts, I decided to do this video covering a subject I haven't really covered, or at least not to the best I think I could. And the subject I'm talking about is your beasts and forging and the souls. I haven't really gone into detail about any of that stuff yet. And with next week being the Forge event, I figured let's kind of relax a little bit. Everyone's all hyped up, ready for Raid Wars. So let's kind of just go back to the basics for one quick video. So obviously this game is all about the beasts. That's what we come in the game for. That's what we were attracted us to the first place. So how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to kind of go one subject at a time. So when you first get into the game, you're going to unlock your first beast when you're walking through the game, which is going to be Vorth. He's tier 1. And then once you end that, you're going to get Talvera. And then with the two of them, you will be able to go through and unlock the other beasts in tier 1. Now, when you are first starting this game, you may not know, but each tier has a different rarity system. The first couple tiers go common, rare, epic, and then common, rare, epic, legendary. Legendary is the last two tiers. That's tier 4 and 5, so a lot of you shouldn't have to worry about that at the moment. Now, you might see that some of my beasts have this little crown at the bottom. That means that they are max level, and so therefore they can't go any higher. How the level system works is commons are typically around level 10, not for tier 1. It's a little bit less than that, about 5. Rares are level 10, and then epics go to level 15. Now, once you hit level 2 or tier 2, that changes. The commons will go to level 10, your rares will go to level 15, and your epic will go to level 20. And that will stay pretty much throughout the rest of the game. As you can see here, down in tier 5, level 20. So keep that in mind when you are grinding. And then the legendaries go to level 25. That is not the season legendaries. They go much higher, especially this new season that is going to go all the way up to tier 7. And we don't even have tier 6 yet. So none of that really matters. So how do you unlock more of these beasts? Well, like I said, you can go in and you go to the Forge. And I'll scroll all the way back up top. So as you can see here, these first two will get you Shade Scale. And then once you have Shade Scale, then you can go through and then test out the different breeding pairs. Now, when you're doing this, keep in mind, this game does not have a set amount needed for each pair. So what that means is sometimes it's going to take you 1,000. Sometimes it's going to probably take you a lot more. Me and my team have gone through all of these. We've had multiple. We have everyone that comes on our team test out different breeding pairs. And what I can say is we do know the minimums and maximums for the majority of all these beasts. Now, obviously, that can change. That's why I like to ask new players all the time when it's a Forge event to give me their numbers that they are getting on the drops. I do not know yet if I'm going to be releasing all that info. That is because it's not just me that has done that. It's kind of my whole team. So it's up to the team if we want to release all the data and all the numbers on how to go through all the tiers and what are the best breeding pairs. But what I can tell you is when you first come in here to breed something, the game's going to give you, depending on how many beasts you have, the main breeding pair that it says you should use. Don't ever use that. It is really bad. And no offense to the dev team at all. But if you go through and you look at different breeding pairs, I'm sure you can find a cheaper breeding path for that creature. And because trust me, we've gone through and sometimes look at that. That's a lot. But so if say you were just going for Elantera, let's see, a cheaper path for Elantera would probably be, and this is going into tier 2, Obviously, you can't breed the same pair. Oh, so I guess, yes, right there. But by this time, you're going to probably have an Lantera. It used to be that you could go back and you didn't have to breed everything. This was before the story missions kind of made it so you have to breed everything. So a lot of these I skipped and either didn't take to breed max level or only took to breeding because at the time that's just what it called for. But now that is no longer the case, so keep that in mind. You pretty much are going to have to make everything. Now, how do you make these two breeding pair work? Well, those are called your souls. So these are going to be up here, your soul shards. And these are what you use to breed. Now, down here at the bottom, you can see you can forge once, and it'll cost you only 10. Or you can go all the way to the max, or anywhere in here. Sadly, there's not like a plus or minus that kind of gets it like just, just like at maybe 15. You kind of have to kind of play with it. But keep in mind when you push that button, if you push it and it's right here, 2,900. Well, guess what? You do that and you accidentally touched that twice, you just dropped, yeah, that's right, you just dropped over 40,000 shards. That's not a good thing to do. So I personally always like to try to keep it about 200. And when you're doing this, I like to just kind of test it. And I feel I'll do maybe 3 tries. If I don't get 1 shard, then I'll try a different breeding pair. And that's what I would suggest to the rest of you to do. And then also keep in mind, this game also gives you another currency to help you breed, and that's the prismatic shards. That's this thing up here. These should be coveted about like XP than these things all the time. Like these are the 2 most important things personally to me in game, because those will save you in the end of not wasting time or copious amounts of soul shards. But do not use prismatics. Please, please, please do not use it on anything that is not either a epic or a legendary. And I promise you, you will be just fine. But if you are wasting these on anything else, then and even if it's just for points, then you don't understand that later on, some of these things cost a lot. And some of them, and I'm going to do a tier guide, and that tier guide's going to cover each tier and every creature in that tier because that's the proper way to do it. Because I've seen some posts and no. But some of these things cost a lot. If I remember correctly, Nor was about 20 shards. So you need 20 shards just to unlock it. Guess what? It's a lot. It's a lot of souls. I know for a while there, before they edited it or fixed it, drop rates were absolutely terrible. I was dropping maybe 30 to 40,000 and not getting 1. So they have fixed that, thank goodness. But that's the other thing I want you guys to keep in mind. So just be mindful of, obviously, this bottom down here when it lets you select a certain amount you can go at once. Be mindful when you're using your prismatic shards. Now, with that all covered, obviously we've got the crowns, which means that it's max level. I've shown you that different breeding pairs will give you different results. I've gone over the prismatic shards and the souls. So let's go over how you get your souls. So this game gives you multiple ways to do so. First and foremost, obviously, you can always buy them. It's not hard. It does cost you money. And a lot of people don't want to do that. And I understand. And I'm not saying you have to. So how do you grind these souls? Well, the next big thing is obviously this is a team and personal based game. So obviously the events will award you prismatic shards and souls. So obviously the better you do in personal and in, as a team, you will get better rewards. So keep that in mind. The other way is going to be your contracts. Now, as you can see, I am currently in tier 4. The next tier up is going to cost me 3,500. And what those are, when you are using your soul shards, you get soul dust. So this is what is used for the soul dust as well as your research. Obviously, the higher tier, the more souls you're going to get out of this. As you can see, the fast one, which is only only takes an hour to reset. The easy one is 27 souls. Then you have medium, which is 54, and then the last one's 109. So obviously you can go through, set timers. You can skip these if you don't want to deal with them. Some of these are really hard to do. You know, I feel like I get the, and you guys might laugh, I honestly kind of skip the gold and loot essence every now and then because it's like every other one, and you don't have a way to always just drop that gold. At least I don't, or essence. So I like to skip it and try to get the skills contracts from the beasts because that's a little bit easier and you can grind those a little bit faster. So there's that. The only other way is going to be your daily quests and story quests. Now, if someone else finds a different way to get souls out of besides these contracts, daily quests, story quests, buying them, or events, please let me know. I might have missed it. But these are the only other ways you're going to get your souls. So keep that in mind. And then the next and last thing is, please do not be trying to breed or forage outside the event. I've seen so many people the last 2 days saying, oh, I just dropped 2,000, I just dropped 5,000, and I got nothing. All you are doing is you're hurting yourself, your progress, and you're hurting your team, because that's points that you can put into the event to make your team potentially win the event. And then you also get a higher rank, which means obviously the higher rank you go, the more rewards you get in the different tiers. Obviously we have Warrior 1, Warrior 2, eventually Warrior 3. So really keep that in mind. Is it worth getting into that new tier? And some of you have seen it. Yeah, you went ahead and did it. And you know what? That's fine. But I personally don't like to waste resources that don't benefit me outside an event. I try to play smarter, not harder. I already have to do enough grinding in this game as is. I'm not looking to waste stuff that I can use later on. So that's my biggest tip for you, is just be patient. A lot of you are patient, and you know what? A lot of you guys were smart. You kept low levels, and that's smart. Focus your beasts first and foremost, then your base. And if you do that, you'll be golden throughout this game. Be on a good, strong team. Make sure you guys communicate with your team. Be active. Be constantly doing your quests. And do your best in personal rewards. And you know what? I promise you guys will get through this game. You'll get to where I am, if not higher. And you will love what you get out of the patience. It can be really hard, and it can be a struggle some days. You know, some days I get home from work and I'm like, oh crap, I've got a full roster of beasts and they're all ×5. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a long night. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's worth it. Definitely if you can join with other teammates and you know they're hitting for max XP. Obviously, if they're hitting levels higher than what you typically hit, you're going to get max. So keep that in mind as well. Anyway, I hope this helps. And I hope the best for everyone in about 6 hours. Good luck in Raid Wars. I'll catch you guys next time. And before I do go, as always, this video is made in collaboration with Ubisoft under the Clash of Beasts Content Creator Program. And I'll catch you guys next time.